The consortium reviewed all the positions and also gave a chance to the company to come back whether they have any specific positive action plan, but they couldn't come up with any concrete action plan. There is no reason for the consortium of the banks to give further time to the company.
DGC is not satisfied with whatever plans have been given. What banks do with the loan they have to recover, that's between the banks and the Kingfisher.
After months of turbulence, it's finally the end game for Kingfisher Airlines. Banks have threatened to recall loans, invoke guarantees and begin the recovery process of their collateral as the ailing carrier hasn't been able to furnish a credible revival plan. On our first debate today, we'll discuss what next for Kingfisher. Will the recovery process be a prolonged legal affair? Will employees ever get their dues? What implications the shutdown could have for the industry as a whole, and will KFA ever manage to fly again? Joining us to help us take stock of all of this is Rajan Mehra, leading aviation expert, and Amber Dubey, partner and head of aviation at KPMG. Both of them join in from our New Delhi studios. We'll also get you a view later on the show from Saroj Datta, the former ED of Jet Airways. But if I can begin with you, Mr. Mishra, your initial reaction, Mr. Mehra, I beg your pardon, your initial reaction on what transpired over the past 24 hours. The general sense was that closure is not an option for Kingfisher Airlines. Somehow or the other, it would tide over, over the entire crisis and the prospect of a shutdown.
Nikhil, I've spoken on your channel before also, and most of the times, even though I've been in the minority, I have felt that Kingfisher has always had a chance to come back. But before I answer your question, Kingfisher is almost becoming like a Greek tragedy. It's a very sad story in Indian aviation. It's a story about an airline that went to the top, established an enviable service record, and somehow lost its way. And during the last 1 year, as the airline has been going down, a lot of us, including myself, as I said, have felt that somewhere Dr. Mallya would pick it up from the brink and take it back to the top again. Unfortunately, as things are unfolding, it looks more and more difficult, almost to the extent that it now looks like the airline is on a ventilator and really on its last stages. And that's not because it has this huge debts of 8,000 crores and equal amount of losses, but it's because nothing is being done to reverse the promoters of the airline, to infuse cash. Nothing is being done to revive a new business plan. So as things move right now, it looks increasingly difficult that in such a situation Kingfisher could somehow get out of this mess that it's got itself into.
Right. And, was not finding a foreign suitor post that FDI reform coming in the final nail in the coffin? Could that have saved the day for Kingfisher Airlines? And was it really foolhardy then to expect that anybody would invest in the airline given the state of its finances? Mr. Mishra. Mr. Mehra, sorry.
I think it's ironical that most of us thought that the FDI policy would benefit Kingfisher the most. That's what it was generally presumed. In fact, a lot went to the extent of saying that this policy was designed for Dr. Mallya. And when the Middle East carriers started showing interest in the Indian carriers, I really thought that this was a great opportunity for Kingfisher. Here was Etihad openly announcing that they were interested in an Indian carrier. Really, Kingfisher should have jumped at this and met them halfway. I have been closely associated with the Gulf market for many years, and I know how keen they are to enter the Indian market.
That had Kingfisher Airlines agreed on the valuations, the deal could have actually happened with Kingfisher, and that they let go of the opportunity?
It could have happened if they had met Etihad halfway. It could have happened if they had shown seriousness in infusing funds. It could have happened if they would have shown that before they talked to Etihad, they would get their house in order, they would pay the salaries, they would infuse funds from maybe United Spirits or other sources. Etihad would certainly have been interested in investing into Kingfisher. So what I feel is that behind the scenes, somehow again Dr. Mallya didn't get his act right. He stubbornly stuck to his own agenda. He somehow did not understand that he was holding in his hand a product that had lost its way, that was down in the dumps, and he needed to do a lot more than Etihad in order to clinch this deal.
Right.